Trying to fix my hair. It's a little hard from a different angle. Hello, good morning. Almost maybe good afternoon now for some of you all. So let's have lunch and learn, right? You all come in. I want to remind you that the 5 minutes of fame is for you to drop your name, your city, and or your state. Well, not your name, but your city and state. I want to know where from our areas that people are tuning in. And let me make sure that I'm live streaming on the correct YouTube channel because I have different channels, and I did a live stream yesterday on one of my other channels. Okay, I think I'm on the correct channel. So right now, for the first 5 minutes of fame, right? Don't drop your name for me. I want to know where you are. Hello, Gwen. I am ready to go. I know Gwen. I just know Gwen because she's from Dallas, Texas, and you know your supporters by name. Um, Jake, I know Jake from Mississippi. I need you all to drop your city or state. Where you from, right? There we go. There we go. From Maryland, right? We got Maryland in, repping Dallas, repping Colorado. That's what I love. That's what I love. Fort Worth, Texas. Fort Worth, Texas. And you all go ahead. And we got Mississippi in through Jake. We got um, Dallas. We got two Texonians in the house. How do you say that? With Gwen and Eric in Colorado. Fountain, Colorado. Doesn't that sound lovely, right? Fountain, Colorado. That sounds lovely. So let me get my intro music. You all come in, drop your city and our state. A very powerful live stream. You don't want to just get in the beginning and miss its entirety. You want to hear this all the way to the end. So make sure you like it and you share it, right? Sharing is caring. Share on your personal YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, Twitter platform, right? Let me pump this music for you all. Let me get the volume up for you. Again, come in, drop your city and our state. Let me know what you're repping, what parts of the world that's all coming together on this live stream, right? So we can power up our prosperity. I have some secrets that I'm going to share with you all of how to really manifest money, riches, and prosperity, wealth at a quicker pace. So I do want to talk to my Patreon members as well. I have a message for you all, right? We got, who is this? Is this Alabama? I think Pritchard, Alabama. Loving, I got you. Said loving Dallas, Texas all day long. So we have Alabama and Miami is in, right? I may not be able to pump that music. Listen, from Miami, I keep this before me on my and let me put my hair back. I have my Woman Thou Art Wealthy t-shirt on to live stream today. I haven't wore this in a while. Woman Thou Art Wealthy. And if you see on in the background, I have some t-shirts that I'm ready to just have like free giveaways. So you definitely want to stay tuned. Listen, we have finance educator. Love that night. Another Dallas. And this is why I really want you all to drop your city and or state, either or, is because we can start collaboration. The secrets that I'm going to give you all to faster manifestation of money is going to require collaborations. I'm going to explain that as well. And again, I do have a message for my Patreon members, right? And from Miami, where's my Miami person? Uh, Queen, everyone, Mississippi. We got two Mississippians repping. Hello, Mississippi. Lucy from Miami. This was the 11th. This I keep this before me because this is my number. Hotel and resorts, and this is when I met the CEO, Mr. Perez, or the CEO. I keep his business card. He also has residence, and we had great conversations about the transition of cryptocurrency. So I keep this vision before me. I probably will have me some business cards, and I'm glossing up today, made on this. But I love it. I love Miami, and peace and respect. Is that Alabama? I think that's AL, or is it AI? Pritchard, is that Pritchard, Alabama? All right, let's play some music. As we you all continue to come in, make sure you hit that thumbs up. We're already, I think, at the 5 minute mark. So give me like 30 seconds to share this on my other platforms as you all share as well, and continue to drop your city and state. And we're going to go right into the topic, right? Mississippi, M-I, cricket letter I, humpback I. How's that said for Mississippi, right? Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you as well. If you just want to say good afternoon, but come in, drop your city and state. Come in, say hello, and or drop your city and state. We got some more people coming in. We got Bama, Alabama in. Hello, Alabama. Okay, it is Alabama. Soak up the game. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get into this again. Hit that thumbs up, you all. Okay, so I'm ready now. I got everything together. I shared it on my live stream. So we are ready to get into this. Let's start with the fourth stimulus, right? The fourth stimulus. This is my other from Miami. We got LA. This is what I love. I love knowing what parts of the country or world that you are from. I've had people out of the states, in the states, so I love it. So we got LA in. And this is another 11 that I keep before me. From Miami, he also has his own vodka line, but I keep it before me because of the vision. I keep it right on my desk, right before my eyes. So let's get into this fourth stimulus and what it means. And again, then a message to my Patreon members. And then we're going to go into an article written by Forbes about money mentioned 800 times in the Bible, over 800 times. And we're also going to talk about the new shift for the Patreon members, all of the inside information that people will get, and why I decided to make a change for the Patreon membership. Because simply, in short, I want to help people manifest their riches and wealth at a faster pace. And that's going to require some changes that I'm going to talk about later on in the live stream. So now we have the fourth stimulus update, right? We have the fourth stimulus update and the latest news on that. And also, you all know with cryptocurrency, when you are tuned in with me, we look at cryptocurrency from a numerology and biblical perspective. Many people, for example, think that Genesis chapter 1 is a story about creation. But for those people that's in my Patreon member or membership, and you're going to get a glimpse of this when I live stream, I'm going to show and teach you all that Genesis 1 is really about where we are headed going into 2022, right? Speaking of 2022, just like number 22, Middleton for the Milwaukee Bucks, right, had 38 points. 8 plus 3 is 11. 38 points, 8 plus 3 is 11. Number 22. What that means, if you, again, have been following me, you know that I teach you all that the government and what's the future speaks to us in sports, right? They give you subliminal messages through sports. And again, we have the bucks, which represents the dollar. The language used to be, if give me a buck, give me a dollar. So we have the bucks versus the Phoenix Suns, XRP is the Phoenix. Tonight, it would really shock and surprise me if the Bucks went on to win the championship at home, even though they have the advantages, they have the momentum. right? Because I know that in 2022, the Phoenix will rise, not just the Phoenix as I'm referring to XRP cryptocurrency, but cryptocurrency in general, and the dollar will go on to return to its original state, which is zero, right? A lot of confusion goes on when it comes to the dollar and Bitcoin, and it's often stated that Bitcoin will go to zero, but I propose that it is not Bitcoin that will go to zero. It is actually the dollar, right? The fiat currency system. And so let's go back to this article number 4. And thank you all for sharing and saying hello and coming in, dropping your city and state, right? Back to the number 4, the fourth stimulus check, the latest update. So a fourth stimulus check to be launched and sent out to low income and medium income households. There has been a petition with over 2 million signatures, various politicians. And so Biden has left out the future of the fourth stimulus checks in hands of Congress, right? So this stimulus check is reported to be $600. Some Americans have already qualified for this fourth stimulus check, specifically those in California who signed a $100 billion plan that included a $600 stimulus checks for state residents. So that's great for Californians. About 2/3 of Californians are expected to qualify for that. Now, for nationwide, concerning the fourth stimulus check, that $600 figure has been mentioned in a possible amount for the next round of federal stimulus have agreed. So will there be a fourth stimulus check is the question. And the answer, right, is at this moment, Congress has not started working on that, on the fourth stimulus checks. Although it has been rumored, I myself has received a text message notification today in order to check on the stimulus check. Um, I didn't respond to that because it was an unknown number. I'm very, looking out for the cyber attacks and who I respond to, cell phones, messages, and etc. So if any of you all have received those same text messages concerning a stimulus check, put yes or let me know, right, in your comments in the comment section. So this is the thing. I do believe we know that Congress have a lot of things. And this is what I want you all to put. And when I highlight your name, that's my way of saying hello to you. So I just want to know I see you. Thank you for coming in and thank you for saying hello. I just don't want to stop my train of thought. So we have approximately 11 more days, right? 11 more days um, in July, right? Not counting and including today because today has already started. So we have 11 more days until July, the end of July, right? And so with that being said, there's a lot of things that's going on right now that is scheduled to take place July 31st, such as they've asked for an increased understanding of cryptocurrency and its regulations, right? Um, they're asking for evictions to end. And in my local state, already on the local news, reporting that people are getting evicted out of their apartments, right, for non-payment of mortgage or rent. And I totally inform you all that these evictions will take place this time. Joe Biden said it himself that this will be the absolute last extension. So 11, those are my numbers. This is the chronological numerology numbers that I've been led and guided by mainly dominance, right? Going into this cash from currency transition. And this is the thing. Gwen Gwen came in with the 11:11. Now this usually is the only time that I will kind of shift topics because the numbers are in front of me. And I was just about to ask someone to type this, or Gwen if she was still on the live stream. And this is what I want you all to know, that number one, cash will not flow, and it cannot flow. Not only will not flow, but it cannot flow in clutter, right? In clutter and confusion. Confusion. This is one of the very first lessons that we're going to learn in the Patreon, right? In the Patreon private meeting. Cash will not and it cannot flow in clutter and confusion. So, what we're going to do, our first steps for the attraction of riches, money, and wealth, right? The three, riches, money, is wealth, is I'm going to show people how to get rid of or disperse or do away with their clutter and confusion, not only mentally and internally, but physically in their surroundings, and how many people have found unexpected money just by practicing that, right? Right. So cash will not and cannot flow and clutter and confusion. Now, with that being said, and for everyone that gives the 1111, stick around to the end of the live stream. We have, or I have, what is called uh, proclamations or words of expressions that we say in order to manifest that is returned back to you with extreme joy. And let me say this real quick. Not only for the Patreon members are we going to speed up your results, right? But 80% of prosperity is accumulated or comes to you speedily, more effectively and efficiently, and speedily or quickly through the spoken word, And so I'm going to teach you all the secrets of the kingdom. The Bible talks about, I'm going to show you all this Forbes magazine as well, that over 800 scriptures in the Bible. And this is also something that our ancient Egyptians knew of and knew about, right? About vibrations, frequency, and energy, right? And again, I told you all that Genesis is not the story of creation, right? It's really about the tree of life, and it gives you everything that's happening now with the currency system and the economy, and I'm going to prove that in just a few minutes. So let's get back to the number 4, right? Concerning the fourth stimulus, but I want you all to keep this in mind as well. I talk about the power of 3, and my vision for my Patreon membership is that I first start with 11, right? I talked about the power of 3, and I already have 3 or more people, right, in the Patreon. Now I want the next number, the 11. This is what's going to speed up your money, riches, and wealth to come to you. Not only the knowledge, but the collaboration, right? And the connections and the networking of the other people in the group, right? Wealth and riches and money has never been accumulated on a high level solo. So prosperity is these 3 things. It's peace, it's health, and it's plenty, right? I want you all to say that or type that in, make a mind message connection. Prosperity is 3 components, right? Peace, health, and plenty. The foundation of everything starts with the power of 3. I talked about that on one of my live streams. So what will this fourth stimulus talk about, right? What will this fourth stimulus cover? Now, again, Genesis 1 begins with every day of creation. So the number 4, on the 4th day, God created light of day, right, and the dark of night, right? So he had the universe with planets, the moon and the sun, the soil. We are carbon, but we are transitioning to crystal people. That's a whole other thing that I'm going to share with my Patreon members. We are carbon made from the dust or the soil of the ground, the dirt of the ground, but we are transitioning to crystal people. That's why I wear my crystals as well. And that's what the Bible revelation gives you when Jesus turned water into wine. But again, I'm going to share all of this in the Patreon membership. So number 4 is about commandments. It's about honoring the holy day, a day when God created everything, right? And was having a rest. Now, I know you probably say, well, that's number 7, Queen. That's not number 4. And a lot of people have taught that number 7 represents the day completion or perfection. That's not what the number 7 represents. The number 7 represents people ending, the end. And let me show you, right? Let me show you. Um, Number 6 represents creation. 666 is a number of life and creation because in Genesis 1, in Genesis 1, chapter 31 says, and God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. He said, very good. And the evening and the morning was the 6th day. So the day that he said very good was the 6th day. So don't think 666 is the evil number or mark of the beast, right? It represents life. It represents very good. It represents melanin. It represents protons, right? Neutrons, electrons, which gives life. The 666, right? And so now the seventh day, let's look at the 7th day, where many say that 7 represents completion and perfection. It does not. Genesis 2 says, and 2 says that on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had made, and he also rested on the 7th day from all of his work that he had made. And the 7th day is a blessed day, and it is a sanctified day. So the 7th year, we are approaching the 7th year. And again, this is going to be for my Patreon members of Shemitah. I actually made that video public, but I'm going to now change that to a members only video. So if you want to watch it, you better peruse my channel, right, and find it before, because I'm about to change it from public to private setting, because these are the secrets, the keys to the kingdom that only a certain few should have the knowledge to. So I talked about Shemitah. I talked about the end of the 7 years, and I showed how the economy, and every 7 years, we've always had a economic reset, right? In 2008, you had the housing market crash. But prior to that, in 2001, you had the 9/11 event. And then in 2015, we had the Dow Jones drop exactly 777 points. So every 7 years, so from 2015 to now, 2021, Shemitah will happen. And this will happen in September, right? And it's actually September the 7th. So we have the number 4, right? Which is even Eve. She was mentioned 4 times in the Bible. The only phrase which is repeated in the gospel in Psalms 107 and is mentioned 4 times. So number 4 is a sense of completeness. Number 7 means the end of the thing, of rest and reset. This is what we're going to enter into September, a reset of the currency system. For many, this is going to be the greatest wealth transfer that they have ever experienced. This is where we have the Twin Towers, the 2121 revelation with the Twin Towers. For others, it's going to be the greatest depression that this generation has ever experienced, mirroring the 1933 Great Depression, right? So, Queen, what determines which side of the component will I be on? Your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and your desire to invest in the secrets that I'm going to give the Patreon members on my channel to know, because only the prepared can plan. Let me say that again. Only the prepared can plan. And so what I'm going to give is not only the spiritual things you should do in the spirit, but things you need to do in the natural as well. And so number 4 represents completion. 4 corners represent one land. 4 seasons, people, represents 1 year. The same completeness can be seen in the 4 gospels, Matthew, Luke, John, and Mark, that they give you the story of Jesus' life and his mission, right? And so with this, the number 4 is completion. So when his 5th stimulus, probably in September, is distributed, this is going to be the completion. This is going to be where we're going to see the shift of this economy, right, taking its downturn. And 2022 will be where we, as I have exactly 144 people right now on all of my platforms on my live stream. Exactly 144, right? Exactly 124. And again, as you all are coming in, if I'm not saying your name, when I highlight your name, that's my way of saying hello so I can stay on topic, right? Without disturbing my peace. But thank you so much for coming in and saying hello. That means a lot to me. So 7 means the ending of a thing, right? And 4 represents the completion of a thing. Both of these will happen in September, the ending and the completion. Completion of what, Queen? Number 1, cash. Cash. In 1971, the dollar became dead. The ending from cash to crypto. And so 1971, 2021 represents 50 years. Now, again, I use the Bible and numerology and numbers, right? Specifically, and gematria, and Shemitah to give you all the overall forecast of what's coming ahead so you can prepare and plan, right? Don't be like the 5 foolish virgins and the 5 wise. The 5 foolish, their oil ran out. They was not prepared, but the 5 wise was prepared, right? So speaking of the number 5, again, 1971 to 2021 represents 50 years. Now, in most churches, in many churches, you've been taught that the number 5 represents grace. That's not accurate, right? The number 5 represents war and can represent victory. See, when David went to war, he got 5 smooth stones. Again, this is why crystals and things of nature is important. So when David went to war, he got 5 smooth stones. 5 represents war, and it can represent victory if you are positioned, right? Now, with that being said, David ending or outcome was victory. Now, you see the game of, and if you don't watch sports, please watch the NBA game tonight. It comes on tonight. Um, the book, the dollar can win it all tonight. And 6 again means it's very, very good. The number of man, the number of life, of creation. But it may go on to 7 games. And we know that again, 7 means the ending of a thing. So I'm going to live stream later on tonight too, in reference to what we see, the messages, the subliminal message that is being sent about this economy through sports and the NBA. And so David, 5 smooth stones, was able to have victory. So the number of 5 means war as well. And one of these teams, either the cash or crypto, is going to be victorious. But if you've been watching these games, people, the last game that came on Saturday night between the Bucks and the Suns, it was a battle. And one of the things that they showed at the Phoenix Sun games was this man in the audience that were every time Giannis went to the free throw line, he's number 34, right? He's the most dominant player, the superstar on the Bucks team. The cameraman showed this man in the audience that were counting bucks or cash or $100 bills. See, these are all things, people, that people with spiritual eyes can see. And so the camera, every time he would go, they would 1, 2, 3, and this man had nothing but a handful of $100 bills. So don't think sports is just entertainment. It is future prediction of what's to come. Although for many people that look at it as entertainment, they don't have an understanding, right? So with that being said, of understanding what the 4th stimulus will mean and what 7 will mean and what Shemitah will mean, right, which is also 7, let's go into this article that I want to share with you all, because many people might be asking, well, why does she always combine Bible with money or finances or the economy? I talked to my friend guy last night, and he told me, he said, I've been watching a lot of your live streams. And he said, I see that your messages are changing. I said, yes. I said, it looks like I'm changing again, right? I said, I first shifted from speaking about credit to crypto. And I transitioned from being the queen of credit to the queen of crypto. Now, I said, I don't know what this shift name is going to be changed to. I may just change to Queen Money Moves, Queen Money Moves, or Queendom. I don't know. I'm going back and forth. But it's going to require a name change for me, right? And when Jacob in the Bible wrestled with himself, his name, the name will change. Whenever God does a transformations from Abram, right, to Abraham, a name change happens. So I do know a name change will happen. So whether you all are watching this live or on the replay, let me know what resonates with you. I'm not saying that this is going to happen this month, but it will happen in the near future. I just thought about changing the channel to Queen Money Moves because I do discuss many money moves in a game of chess. You have the king and the queen that make moves. The king is the most important, right? Important piece on the board, but the queen is the most powerful, right? The queen is the most powerful. So I'm looking at queen money moves, or sometimes I just want to say queendom. So you all help me vote. Again, whether you are watching this live or on the replay, help me vote. And double P, double blessings. We got double P. I love the people with the double names, alliterations forthcoming. I know it's also a double A sometimes. A niece. I think she repeats that. But when something is said and double, right, that just means double blessings. So I love that Patrice prayer, the double P. She said, I miss your teachings. Are you meaning about the Patreon? And this is the thing, I struggle with myself about this Patreon because I did want more than one level of Patreon, right? But for what I'm going to give people in the 99.99 Patreon, let me tell you, I'm not braggadocious, but I am a bad woman. I know all of the keys of the kingdom to teach people to unlock their riches, wealth, and prosperity. See, let me go Bible on you all. I have to before uh, and not only do I know all the keys, I know I won't say all, but much of the pin code. See, um, there are four gateways to prosperity. I told you our prosperity meant completeness, right? Or the number four represents completeness. Okay, I got two. You all please help me vote, right? Let me know what you think. I'm gonna go with whatever you said. Queen of money moves. Okay, and so there are four gateways of prosperity. Four gateways of prosperity. Let me pull my notes up because I wasn't sure if I was going to go in this direction of not or not. Um, there are four gateways of prosperity. Number one, in the Old Testament, for example, and these are things I'm going to share private, but I'm going to give you a glimpse. I'm going to give you a glimpse. The Bible, Malachi chapter 3, talks about that the windows of heaven will be open, right? The windows of heaven will be open and you will not have room enough to receive. So the first two is open heavens and open windows, right? Open Elijah. I am a bad woman. I am. I know all of the keys and I know the codes. Again, four dimensions, four levels of prosperity. Open heavens and open windows. Then you have open doors and open gates, right? Then you have open doors and open gates. And so you all can go do your own homework on your own time. I'm not going to I also have some more 11:11 money scriptures, right? I got the keys. That's right. I got them. And let me show you what I mean by that, right? Again, I'm not braggadocious, but I'm not going to downplay what God has gifted in me and through me as well. And thanks, all thanks goes to God, right? Nothing of this is of myself or within myself. Elohim. But Matthew 16 and 19, right? Matthew 16 and 19, which all equals to 9 when you add 9, 6, 1, and 1. 9 is the highest spiritual number that there is. He says, I will give you the keys of the kingdom, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven. And whatever you loose on earth will be loose in heaven. And then he talks about gates here, right? But it goes on. The scripture before this says that the gates of hell will not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind and loose on earth will be bound in heaven. People, let me tell you that prosperity is a combination of both the earth and spiritual realm. People, I wish I can take a screenshot of this. The numbers 111 are right on my live stream right now. And my numbers always fluctuate. I looked up and saw 111. So I'm that's my message, that it's okay to share this with you all a little bit. And so what most churches have misconstrued this scripture is doing is saying that I bind and loose demons or the devil. This is not what this scripture is talking about. It says whatever is locked up on earth, it will be locked up in heaven. And whatever you unlock on earth, right, will be unlocked in heaven. Again, Malachi 3, open up the windows, pour you out a blessing, right? That you will not have room enough to receive. Even in Malachi 3, the Bible says that once you know how to lock and unlock things on heaven and earth, right, that God will rebuke the devourer for your sake. That's why you rebuking the devourer is out of alignment. You don't see, once you know how to make money a defense for you, Ecclesiastes says money is a defense. Once you understand how to make money a defense for you, there will be no devourers in your life that you will have to rebuke. It will be rebuked for you. And so what this was saying is, if you do certain things in the earth realm, your money won't be released to you. If you lock up certain things in the earth realm, your money will not be released from you from a heavenly or spiritual realm. Do you all want me to give you just one of the keys? Let me see how, if I get 7 yes, I will give you at least one of the keys examples, right? And so the Bible talks about open windows, open heaven, open doors, and open gates. Open windows, right? Open doors and open gates. Open heaven, right? Every person has gates to their spirit, their soul, and their body. You have gateways. My mentor did a live stream this morning that I was able to listen into. And he says, your gateway through your natural eyes that you see, right, is a gateway through your ears. Now, there are a total of 9 openings in the body. You have 9 openings in your body. Again, 9 is the highest spiritual number. And you have different gateways, different ways things can enter in, and things can be locked up, even your digestive system, right? And things can be released and replenished. Again, this is why when I share with my Patreon members that cash is not attracted to clutter and confusion, this is going to unlock some of your prosperity. Some of you all have been giving and giving. You've been saying and saying. You've been seeing and seeing, but you have not been blessed and been blessed. That's the double blessings. So 4 gateways of prosperity. 4 gateways of prosperity. Now, Again, Patreon members, I'm looking for 11 people to start, and then it's going to manifest to 111. So we can say these three powerful words so we can speed up our riches, prosperity, and wealth. Because in Genesis, I told you about Genesis is deeper than what most can see or analyze. God gave us three commandments. Elohim, the gods of the universe, gave us three commandments: to be fruitful, to multiply, and subdue. I may explain that. I have 20 minutes left. So how many yes do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, the highest spiritual number there is. One of the things that locks up people, even their health, right? Even their wealth, is forgiveness, right? The Bible says, forgive us of our debts. This is one of the keys, as we forgive our debtors. And not knowing how to operate in forgiveness will lock up, will prevent your prosperity from manifesting on its highest form. Again, the seventh principle, New Testament, it was asked, how many times should I forgive, right? When the disciples asked Jesus, how many times should I forgive my brother? He said 70 times 7. Now, forgiveness does not mean the exclusion that a wrong or a bad act was done to you, but it involves a process or a process to be done so that your blessings are not unlocked. See, I know you don't hear this in traditional churches. I know you don't hear this. And I have 7 more keys that I'm going to share with you because, you know, I really was going to wear my shirt that says respect my shift today. But I decided for some reason to wear this one that says woman, thou art wealthy, right? Woman, thou art wealthy. I decided to go with this one. And because I have to show you all that the Bible is definitely a book about banking. It's a book about prosperity. It's a book about multiplication. It's a book about holistic health. That's why the apostle in 3 John says, I wish above all things. That means above everything that you prosper and be in health, but even or to the degree that your soul prospers. See, your soul, people, is your mind, your will, and your emotions. Jesus asks, will you be made whole? That's a decision. Will you invest in yourself to get these keys? Because I had to learn. I can teach you all about cryptocurrency and investing. You all can become thousandaires, millionaires, multimillionaires, and billionaires. But until you have these other biblical components in place, right, then prosperity may come for you, and as quickly as it comes, quickly as it will go. Now, I have this scripture as well. I like to show you all. I felt like this is not something that I heard, but I felt like somebody on my live stream, because I always make these professions and confessions that for you to magnify your mind, multiply your money, and manifest with your mouth and maximize your mission. And I felt like that someone that heard me say that was saying, well, how can you manifest money with your mouth? Right. And I gave the example of when the disciples needed money to pay their taxes, God told them to look in the fish's mouth. Right. But God told me, he said, I have even better scripture for that person. Yeah, I am. I'm teaching preaching today, Gwen. You are so right. I'm teaching preaching. Right. God says, as we have 235 people on, thank you all for viewing and watching. I love to say thank you, thank you, thank you in increments of 3. But God said, no, Queen, I got something better for you. You know, there is power in the spoken word of God. He says it's sharper than any two-edged sword. It will cut people up. It will cut up bad circumstances. It will cut up bad negative cash flow. It will cut up bad health. You have to know how to apply it. And you have to get wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So he gave me Genesis 43 and 21. It came to pass when we came to the end that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack. Our money was full in weight. Can you all, do I need to magnify this scripture so you can see it? For some of the people that say, I don't understand why she always teaching that you have to speak a thing. See, even in Genesis 1, it says, let me get my old faithful out as I leave those words for you to view on and to digest and to get into your mind and your spirit. In Genesis 1 and 2, it says, the earth without void, it was without purpose, it was empty. And the spirit moved upon the waters. Gwen said she took a screenshot. That's smart. That's intelligent. That's wisdom. Right? All of you all, take a screenshot of that if you can. If you're not driving, if you want to put yourself in harm's way, do that. Take a screenshot. Because some of you all need to remember these words when your critics, your family members come against you. Because when you transition and when you change and when you shift from religion to spirituality, to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you will have people that question that because you are stepping off the boat. Like my mentor said, it gave me this revelation. He says, you know, Queen, when God was talking to his disciples on the ship, on the boat, he said, if you believe it, that this is me, I forbid you to step out. And only one of the 12 stepped out on the water. And he gave me another revelation of 1:11. See, nothing can move for you until you move, right? Now, I talked about also that God blessed them. And he said unto them, Genesis 1 and 28, which you add 8, 2, and 1, and that's 11. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, at that time, their names was just Adam, right? God named male and female Adam or Tom. It was Adam or Tom that named Eve, not God. So when God looks at male and female, he only sees one. He does not see separate entities. That's another teaching. And he says, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion. Now, when you replenish the earth, when you give back to the earth, this is what we're supposed to do. This is why in my Patreon group, I'm going to teach earthing, sun gazing, all of that, because we were commanded to replenish the earth, right? We were commanded and demanded, right? It is to replenish this earth. If you ever been to a beach or by waters, and if you can shift your mind from recreation to spiritual, you can have a great spiritual download with water or even the drinking of water. And I'm going to share with you all some secrets about the drinking and obtaining of water because we are made up of 70 to 80% of water, right? As well, to attract riches, prosperity, and wealth as well. Right. Again, prosperity, when I reference prosperity, that's broken down to 3 parts: peace, health, and plenty. A lot of people, once they learn about these prosperities that we're going to teach, or my mentor and I will teach in the Patreon, not only does their riches and finances get at a higher level, so does their health and their level of thinking, their emotional health, and their mental health. So Genesis 1:28 again is 11. It says, be fruitful. Fruitful means always producing. Always producing. Multiply means always increasing. Always increasing. Always producing, always increasing. Right? Subdue. Control your environment, or it will have control over you. Three, powerful concepts. Now, if you think what you're learning in public is powerful, just imagine what the people that get this in private are going to be able to operate and perform on a higher level. So we have Forbes magazine that says, is the Bible the ultimate financial guide, that I want to share with you all, right? And it says that in a quote about money issues, this person that worked with Wall Street says, I get my financial guidance from the Bible. Money and possessions are the second most referenced topic in the Bible. Did you all know that? Did you all know that money is mentioned more than 800 times in the Bible? So, people, I cannot talk about money without talking about the Bible. It's impossible, because everyone that's performing on a high financial level usually operate in these biblical and spiritual principles, not religious principles, not religion principles. Over 800 times. Thank you, Gwen. If you knew that, put knew that. And if you did not know that, put I didn't know that. Over 800 times. But Gwen, you're going to know a whole lot, because Gwen is a member of the Patreon. You're about to know a whole lot of stuff that you didn't know about the Bible and about your riches and wealth and prosperity. And so the writers of the Bible anticipated the problems we will have with money and possessions. There are over 2,000 references. This is coming from Forbes magazine, right? So they asked this Wall Street investor, what's the number one most important biblical rule of finance? And he said, God owns everything. You may have bought that house, but he gave you the money to buy it, so it's his. Well, God said the cattle on 1,000 hills was a thousand. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And a cattle on 1,000 hills, belongs to him. So, do you put money aside for investing? It goes on to ask him, right? He said one of the most revealing parables is Jesus' story about a wealthy master who left 3 servants. Again, power of 3. I want you all to type power of 3. Right? A lot of people saying they didn't know that. I am so privileged to share this with you all. And I am so privileged and thankful that God is using me, right? Power of 3 to share this with you all. Also, I want you to make a mind message connection and type this in as well. So, 3 servants in charge of his financial affairs. And he went on a long journey. Isn't that similar to when Jesus ascended into heaven, but he left us here to multiply, subdue, have dominion, and reign on earth, right? God said he gives us the earth. He gave us the earth. The heavens are for the higher things, but to the earth, he giving it to us. And that means the fullness of the earth, the silver, the gold, the livestock, the land, all supposed to be in your possession. So he said when he returned, 2 of the servants had multiplied the coins for which they were responsible. The third one buried his to keep safe. The last servant ended up out on his ear. This story is a lesson. We must invest our money and invest it wisely. Debt is not prohibited in the Bible, but it should be avoided, especially if you're not using it to invest. The Bible clearly warns us that the borrower will be servant to the lender, but it also instructs us to lend money. Now, catch this real quick. I'm going to throw this out here. You can borrow in such a wise way to make you the lender. Did you all get that? You can borrow in such a wise way to make you become the lender, but you have to do it with wisdom. You have to do it with wisdom. Another three concept: knowledge and understanding, right? And so the Bible also instructs you when there are times when it's okay to borrow money. The borrower also instructs you to repay what you borrow. That was the whole meaning of Romans chapter in the book of Romans. He says, "Oh no man but to love him." It was stating that, listen, if you made an agreement to pay someone, then pay them and fulfill that agreement on time as you promised, right? And I'm assuming that's why I wore, and this is the link to that article if you all want to read it in your free time at your leisure. I'm assuming that's why I wore my Woman Thou Wealthy shirt today, because really where this came from is in 2 Kings chapter 4, when the widow woman whose husband had died went to the prophet Elijah and said, "Listen, my family is broke. My husband, he was real religious. He served you. He was a very religious man. He was very spiritual. He was faithful. But he didn't have any earthly business realm or revelation about money." I showed you all how Nikola Tesla did not have that knowledge as well. Very spiritual man, but died broke. See, just because people are spiritual doesn't mean they can manifest money. It doesn't mean they have earthly knowledge concerning money, laws, and principles. Another thing I want to share with you all, this is another key. Money cannot be multiplied until it's organized. Say that again. I'm going to pause. The Bible says, Selah, think on these things. Money cannot be multiplied until it is organized. That's why I stated earlier that cash cannot be attracted, or it will not flow to chaos and clutter. And again, my Patreon members, these are some things that we are going to learn how the attraction of cash to you. Now, let me give you some biblical examples. When the followers of Jesus followed him all day as he was preaching the kingdom, Jesus never preached miracles. He only preached the kingdom. He always talked about the kingdom of heaven is like. He never went around preaching and hooping and hollering to a Hammond organ about the people he had raised from the dead or he healed. If you don't believe me, read the Bible, look in red. Those are the words of Jesus. Now, other apostles recorded his healings, but he never talked about it. Another thing about money, right? Wealth whispers, money talks. People that have large amounts of money don't talk about it. They don't talk about it. Actually, the rich and wealthy don't talk about money at all. They talk about ideas. But people that have large sums of money don't talk about money. If you hear somebody talking about, I got the PPP loan, they don't have a large amount of money. They don't understand how money works. They don't flash money. And I know you may be looking at Floyd Mayweather, but Floyd has a lot of cash. Cash is the lowest yielding asset that there is. If he doesn't convert his cash into assets, once this economy takes a dip, he's going to be broke, right? So again, money must, or it will not flow in clutter and confusion, and money must be organized before it is multiplied. So when 5,000, again, 5 is the number of warfare and victory, people were following Jesus. They were hungry. They had followed him and walked with him in the day. They were tired. And for some reason, the only person on the scene that had sense enough and had food was a child. Out of all the adults, a child had sense enough to have something in his possession. See, I won't even say the child saved the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, which equals the number 7. Because again, why would you save cash? It's the lowest yielding asset that there is. And again, in Matthew 25, it tells you that the man who buried his money in the ground was called wicked and evil. Now, I'm not saying have money set aside for use, right? But this child had something set aside to be shifted and multiplied. So we don't save money over here. We set it aside to shift for greater use and multiplication and manifestation. So God said, okay, before I feed you all, can you imagine if you had 5,000 people following you and they were hungry? You know how it is at some of our minority cookouts or cookouts in the black and brown community. You all say, hey, come over for a fish fry. We're going to have this fish frying. Come over for a fish fry. We're going to be ready to eat at 3. And if you don't have that fish hot and ready by 3 o'clock and it's 4 or 5 o'clock, and people are hungry and sitting in the sun waiting on your fish to get done, they get irritable and angry. But Jesus said, you know what? You all are going to have to organize in groups of 50 before this manifestation it happens. And I'm going to share with my Patreon members something else that he did that caused the 2 fish, the 7, to multiply 5 loaves and to manifest. Another secret, another key. But I'm only going to share that private. And then you have when Jesus performed the other miracle, he turned water into wine. That required organization. He told him, I want you to go get the vessels, right? I want you to do it exactly this way. This required organization. Even the widow woman in 2 Kings chapter 4, she had to get her household organized first. She went to Elijah and said, look, my husband was very religious. He served you faithfully. He went to church every Sunday, every Wednesday for Bible study, even Saturday night for choir practice. He served you. He gave you water, right? We paid our tithes, but we're broke. We're broke. And my husband is dead. And that's why I tell women, there are 2 things if you're in a marriage that will end a marriage. So you need to have financial wisdom and knowledge and education. That's divorce or death, right? And Elijah said, okay, what do you have for me to work with? So you always got to give God something to work with. God can never perform a miracle for you out of nothing. 0 from 0 equals 0. This is why people give on this channel. This is why the super chats come in, right? This is why, because they know they have to take action first. They said it this way in science: every action, right, will have an equal or opposite reaction. And so he said, okay, you have a couple of pots. Now let's put your sons to work. Instead of your sons being sold to slave masters and being working out this debt, I'm going to show you how to open a home-based business and have your children to work for you. That's another thing I do. And on that note, people, the home-based business is a $99 discount to join. It will end July 31st. The regular price is $228, right? Now it's $129. Now I want you to look at these numbers. The regular price is $228. That's 12. Now it's $129. That's also 12. 12 is the number of government. This is why the home-based business have these prices. And a lot of y'all need to join the homes-based business because you have to have order in the earth realm and in the spiritual realm. And you can get more money out of your paycheck. You can get 475 tax deductions. 475 tax deductions, right? And with this being said, 475 tax deductions, you can get more money out of your paycheck once you add a home-based business entity to it. And some of you all are living paycheck to paycheck, or as Dr. Lynn Richardson put it, you're living paycheck to Monday. You get paid Friday, and Monday you're broke. You need to increase your cash flow. So a lot of you all are looking for a miraculous breakthrough, and it may happen. You may get an unexpected check in the mail. You may have an unexpected, generational land gifted to you that you didn't know about. But a lot of your answers is right here in front of you, and I'm highly encouraging you to take action on the home-based business because you need to increase out of your paycheck, and you needed it like yesterday. And for 129, right? Again, 12, the number of government, which ends in 11 days. Those who take actions are going to see an increase in their paychecks by doing this right now. And I just dropped some key revelations. Some of you all have been looking for some answers. You need increased income. This is your answer. This is your answer. So she took her sons and they got their house organized. They got their house organized. And then they went and borrowed. They leveraged credit from their neighbors to increase their cash flow through the home-based business. I have some people that ask me, well, Queen, should I use my credit card? Why wouldn't you if you have one? Because this is an investment. Even the 129 that you invest for the home-based business is now a tax write-off. Right? So again, I'm signing out. The Patreon link. I thoroughly enjoyed this live stream. Thanks for everyone that commented. Elijah said he needs help getting to the Patreon group. I think I shared the Patreon link. But if not, here's the Patreon link again. And again, once I upload this video, it's going to have the link in the Patreon channel. And again, our first private Patreon will be tomorrow. So once I upload this video, it will have the link. And again, this is the link as well. Gwen said the link. Okay, yeah, it is in the live chat. And this is it as well. So you all, I'm signing out. Magnify your mind, multiply your money, manifest with your mouth, and maximize your mission. Queen out. I will live stream later tonight. We're going to look at the subliminal messages between the Bucks and the Phoenix Sun. Cash versus crypto. You all have a great, great day.